Are you willing to provide Ukraine with the security guarantees the same way as European allies do?
That's later down the road. We'll be talking about that. Hopefully, we'll be in a position to talk about that a little bit later on. It's a little bit too early to answer that question.
Russia is not doing well with this during this war. We need more pressure and more sanctions, and I hope with United States first of all and Europe.
Meeting today at the UN. Joining me now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Mr. President, welcome back to Special Report.
Thanks so much, Brett. Thank you.
What did you take away from your meeting with President Trump at the UN today?
First of all, that it's very important that positions of our teams are closer than any time before. That's good that the details of the situation on the battlefield from intelligence of both countries are similar. And mostly this is good because it always depends on the position and on information. The future decisions, how to speak with Russians, I mean the President Trump teams, when they speak with Russians, from what position? From the position of pressure or from other position? It depends on the position on battlefield, position with economy in Russia, position battlefield of Russia and Ukraine. For example, today we share that this September was difficult for our army, but it was successful really because 360 kilometers we deoccupied it. It's not big victory, but it means that we are not losing. This is important.
Your relationship with President Trump seems to have improved. Is that fair to say?
I think we have a better relation than before. And I think we didn't have a close relation because we didn't have maybe time. I don't know. I don't know other reasons. It's good that we have often phone calls and meetings. And I think the fact that Putin was lying to President Trump so many times also made a difference between us.
You know, I know your staff read the post from President Trump that he posted on Truth Social after your meeting, but in part he said this: after getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option. Are you surprised to hear that?
A little bit. A little bit. I mean, this, I'm sure in my people, in my army, and I'm sure in strengthening of in support of the United States. But President Trump was more positive in it, and he showed that he wants to support Ukraine to the very end. So we understand now that we are ready to finish this war as quick as possible. And he wants, and I want, and our people want. But he understands that Putin doesn't want, and he understands that he is not winning, but he says to everybody that he will win. And I see very, it was a little bit surprise for me, you're right. I was very positive signals from the side that Trump and America will be with us to the end of the war. Yes, as we will see, right? We will see, but God bless, it will be so.
Was there a commitment to put more pressure on Russia, on Vladimir Putin?
Yes, President Trump understands that we need more pressure on him. There's not enough pressure from Europe. They are our partners, but it's not enough. We need pressure directly on Putin, on the energy network, on their financing system, on banking system, and etc. We spoke with details about it, and we count on sanctions from the United States side.
You know, since President Putin met with President Trump in Alaska, we put up this graphic. Military strikes in your country targeting civilians, more than 500. Casualties, 260 plus. Drone strikes, 2,100. Armed clashes, 2,700. It's increased exponentially.
Increased.
What do you think happened after that meeting in Alaska?
President Trump tried not to close, this diplomatic possibility of negotiations with Putin. He didn't pressure on him before. He wanted to really have negotiations, to really have trilateral meeting between us. And but Putin, as always, he just, I think, uses the situation. He just used the situation. He got images with President Trump. He sold to his audience, Russian society, you see, I'm shakeable with the United States. It means that we can continue. So it's different position. President Trump wanted to show Putin that he's ready for negotiations, that we are ready to make some progress. But Putin, he's feeling it's not enough pressure.
The next step was going to be a one-on-one meeting between Vladimir Putin and yourself. So right now, that does not look like it's happening.
Yeah, because he afraid such meeting. He's not afraid of me. I mean, he afraid such meeting because he has to have some outcome. But his outcome for today is to continue the war. Of course, he said to President Trump, and I think sometimes when they have conversations, Russian teams and American teams, they say that they want peace, but it's not true.
Since that time,
yeah, please.
Since that time, he also has gone into other NATO countries. 3 jets into Estonia, drones into Poland. Do you think that's part of a plan? Today, President Trump said those NATO allies should shoot down those planes and drones.
Denmark was yesterday Denmark.
Yes.
Baltics, Nordics, Romania already, a lot of countries. So what Putin is doing for today, he is, first of all, his signals to NATO. He wants to feel how they can defend their countries, and he feels that they can't. Not enough air defense. They are not well trained. It's understandable. They are very good professional guys, but they don't have war. Russia in this war more than 10 years.
So if these attacks are increasing, if these excursions and intrusions into other NATO countries are increasing, what do you think it's going to take to change Putin's mind that he can't win militarily or that this war needs to come to an end?
I think he wants it. He wants to go to other territories. As I said to my colleagues, I said them 1 year ago, look, don't wait when he will finish the war in Ukraine and he will continue somewhere. He can continue somewhere, not finishing in Ukraine. Because he understands that he needs for his war machine, for his factories, for his close circle of businessmen who are in defending military sector, have money, big money. He wants to show that they will continue. And that's why he postponed meetings, any kind of meetings on the level of leaders with me. Trilateral, bilateral, doesn't matter how many leaders.
He invited you to Moscow, you invited him to Kyiv. Are you willing to meet directly with him in a neutral spot?
I didn't invite him to Kyiv. I said, look, if you don't want to meet with me, of course, on the place of Putin, I mean this from his side, of course you will invite me to Moscow. It's just for postponed the meeting. That's it. I said, this is the same if I will invite him to Kyiv. Yes, he has the choice. And Trump teams, my team, Trump team, my team, Europeans, including Macron and other leaders, and Turkey president. I know that President Erdogan was in your... Yeah. All of us, all our teams proposed meeting in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, in Europe neutral, like Austria, Switzerland. So we said, even if you want somewhere like Kazakhstan, I mean...
You're ready.
Yeah, we are ready. That's it.
So I talked to President Erdogan yesterday here at the UN. I asked him about his thoughts about how long this might take. Here he is. Do you think the war ends soon?
I don't really believe that it will.
And that's not a good thing for the world.
It's not good news. And we thinking about this in this manner is heavy on our hearts.
Says he has good relations with you and with Russia, but he doesn't think it's ending anytime soon. Do you agree with him?
Because he knows my attitude that we are ready to finish the war, and he understands that Putin doesn't want to finish the war, and he understands that not enough pressure on Putin. Really, I know that he understands it. We need pressure. From whom? United States, President Trump. And I think that President Trump can change the attitude of Xi Jinping to this war. Because China, I mean, we don't feel that China wants to finish this war.
China, India, they're all contributing here. European nations, the president said, need to get off oil, but need to do it with the U.S. Do you think that that is going to happen?
I think Iran will never be on our side because we'll never be on the side of the United States. I think India mostly with us. Yes, we had these questions with energy, but I think that President Trump can manage it with Europeans, make more close and strong relations with India. And I think we have to do everything not to withdraw Indians, and they will change their attitude to Russian energy sector, I'm sure. With China, it's more difficult because it's not, for today, it's not in their interest to not to support Russia.
President Trump has indicated that any sort of peace deal, if it comes, with Ukraine and Russia, would end up with Ukraine losing some territory to Russia. Have you accepted that reality, or what concessions do you think, if you got to a negotiating table, you're willing to make?
First of all, it's important that today we had good conversation with President Trump, and I think he understands for today that we can't just swap territories. It's not fair. It's not real.
So you think his position has changed?
Yes, I think so. And God bless it. I really count on this, on continuation of his attitude to the territorial question and the question of our sovereignty at the end of the days. And I think that it's not about territories, it's about the position of Putin. He will continue. If we will give them more that he really wants, he will continue. So the question how to stop the war is just to stop Putin's ambitions, to change his position to this war.
You and I have talked, sat down together many times since the beginning of this war. Take a listen.
That will not be the last war in the world. It will be the first of those future biggest wars in the world.
Do you think Putin would stop if you don't get this funding? Would he make a deal? Would you make a deal?
It's not about financing. It's about the morality. He has to understand that all the world needs peace, and all the world will not give him possibility to occupy Ukraine. We are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position.
From the front lines to D.C. to here in New York, it's 43 months.
Thank you that you've been with us all these years.
Yeah, asking the questions, and you've been answering. 43 months of war now, fourth year. Your people have to be weary and tired, and troops have got to be wiped out. They're, obviously steadfast in this. President Trump talked about this, pushing back Russia when they were supposed to win in just a matter of days. How are your troops holding up? How is your country holding up?
Very difficult position, of course, but from the side of morality, we are on our land. It's our home. We are surviving, but we can't lose. We can't lose. Otherwise, we will lose our independence.
For the people around the world, including here in the U.S., who are concerned about corruption inside your country, who are concerned about where all the money is going, who are concerned that you're not holding elections because you're in this emergency time. Politico wrote this. Your party, there's frustration growing. There have been growing grumbles within your party ranks about your highly personalized method of rule and your tendency to be dismissive of Parliament, plus the move against anti-corruption agencies still rankles some of your own lawmakers. For those people concerned about that, what do you say?
First of all, it's not truth. All the anti-corruption reforms being voted by this parliament by majority. Majority is our party. Everything, every changing, every independence of anti-corruption infrastructure was voted during all these years, even during the war. And all the European institutions who are also always support this infrastructure, they know it, because only majority voted for these laws. Even if we will change and find a way how to change, we need security for these elections. For example, we are ready if we will have ceasefire, even if it's difficult according to our constitution.
You'll hold elections.
We can. Okay, if we can do with our partners, of course, with
security guarantees.
Security guarantees.
Mr. President, we appreciate you coming on a busy day like this to the studio, and we'll always welcome you back on Special Report.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.